Hey, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about how to make your backswing bigger. All right, basically how to get more shoulder rotation, some drills that we can do to get more shoulder rotation, some tools that we can use. Because if you tend to get more shoulder rotation, if you get your backswing a little bit bigger, we know it tends to create more distance and your swing will become a little bit more fluid. So automatically everything becomes just a little bit easier. All right, so if you're brand new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button, you'll see our future videos. Again, we post every Tuesday and Friday, so make sure you don't miss those. And so today is all about how do we get more shoulder rotation, a bigger backswing to create more power and to become more accurate. So if you're watching this, most likely you get to the top of your backswing and it's really short. Okay, and you just can't create a lot of power. We've seen like John Rahm and Tony Finau, they have short backswings and they create a whole bunch of power, right? But they also are doing a really good job of turning their chest, rotating their ribs. They use the ground incredibly well and they're just extremely gifted. Most of us probably can't fall in that category, especially if we're watching this video, all right? We're looking for more distance. We're looking for that bigger backswing. So that's what we're going to work on today, is how do we get our ribs to turn more. I'll give you some ways that are also going to help you just become more flexible, especially in the off season, or things that you can just apply the next time you go out and play, just so you can turn a little bit better. So the first thing we're going to go through is one of my favorite tools, the family broom. One of my favorite tools. You can go out and buy an orange whip or one of those skills tools, whatever they're called. Spend $100, you can go get your family broom, and it pretty much is going to accomplish the same thing, but it also adds a little element because this kind of represents the face. All right, so it helps out also when it comes to timing up what the face should look like in the swing. So you kind of get two birds with one stone here. So you got your broom in your hand. This is all you're going to do with it. You're going to take your normal grip, or you can 10-finger it, whatever, if it's kind of slippery like mine is. Right, you're going to set it up so the face is just like it's square, just like in a golf swing. So you can even practice to make sure the face is in the right spots. But anyway, all you're going to do is you're just going to swing your broom. You'll be able to hear it. You'll get better at feeling where all the speed is at the bottom. You're going to notice also that you can't rip the club away weird. All right, so that helps out also. And you just take swings with your broom. Okay, helps you work on the club face control a little bit. And then of course, the resistance that it comes from the broom or the bristles on the way down helps you create just a little more speed with that also, so that helps out. And it's gonna make it longer because it's heavier towards the end. All right, if you're gonna go home and do this, I would say, let's say you're gonna do 10 sets with about 10 reps. Okay, so it's gonna take you like 3 or 4 minutes. And automatically, I guarantee you, it's gonna help you get a little bit more of a turn. It's gonna help you be more fluid because you can't rip it down from the top, right? And so hopefully, all together, longer backswing, a little more speed, a little more power, a little more face control. All right, if we look at it mechanically, there's a few things. We need to concentrate that it's from here rather than from our shoulders. So if we do just basically kind of a structure idea, you're just going to take your arms like this, and you're just going to work on rotating without pushing across, because a lot of us do that, which isn't a shoulder turn. So keep that structure and just work on your ribs making that turn rather than shoulders pushing across or arms pushing across. All right, so that's just a really simple drill that you can do. Again, if you do, let's say 10 reps of 10, we'll just make it very consistent. Just makes it really easy. All right, make sure you do it both ways so you just don't get stuck on one side or the other. All right, and that's a very easy way to make sure that you're turning your ribs correctly. Now, sometimes another thing that can help you turn a little bit more is make sure that your spine is tilted. You have some axis tilt. That just makes our spine turn just a little bit easier. And then of course, when you're turning, make sure it's not turning underneath too much, because that's going to restrict your turn also. So you need to feel like you turn right on top of your spine. All right, here's a little bit of a cheat that you can do the next time you're at the golf course if you haven't done any of these things. All right, is we need our hips to turn a little bit more so our body can turn a little bit more. All right, after this we're going to cover the thoracic spine. I'm going to give you some stuff to do to help loosen that up, breaking it up, because that's how you get a bigger turn. But the hips also help out. So if you're setting up and your back foot is square, can kind of resist how much you're able to turn your hips. So I would just want you to kind of flare out both feet. And that's going to help the hip turn a little bit more. In turn will help the chest turn a little bit more, which will help get the club to the top. All right, get that longer backswing that you're looking for. Another thing when it comes to your golf swing is I don't want you to rush the backswing. Right? I don't want it to take eternity to get to the top, because then all these thoughts can fly in your head. All right, but at the same time, if you rip it back, most likely that is an arm motion, and it's going to cause all sorts of issues. So I want you to feel like you just take a little bit more time when it comes to your backswing. All right, usually we look for a 2-to-1 count. All right, so if it takes 3 seconds to get back, it takes 1.5 seconds to get down, which would probably be a really slow swing, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, you just need to take a little bit more time to get that full backswing, to let your body get that coil. Don't rush it on the way back. Another thing that you can do to make sure that you're not arms dominated and that you're actually turning, you've probably seen this drill 1,000 times, is take that club, put it right to your stomach, and we want to make sure that you are turning your chest. Okay, if you are pushing, it's going to come off. Or if you're doing something weird, right, you should just turn. So by the time you get to basically left arm parallel, we call it position 3, I want to see almost that entire chest is almost at its full turn at that point in time. A lot of us are still kind of here, let those arms kind of bend, or we just stop and be really short. All right, so make sure you get that full rotation from your ribs by the time that left arm gets parallel. All right, so if you start doing these exercises, I want you to be able to test and see if you're improving. So you're just going to get a chair, you're going to sit on the edge of it, feet and knees are going to go together, you're going to cross your shoulders, and then you're just going to turn to the right. All right, we're looking for like a 45-degree angle of a turn. You'll see that I probably won't get to that because my backswing is a little short, I'm working on it. Right? And then you're going to test the opposite way, and most of us are going to have a greater turn on the way through. Unfortunately, every once in a while it's the opposite way. Okay, so I want you to test it so you can see if these things are improving. All right, now a little thing that I learned from TPI, Tyler's Performance Institute, all right, is a breathing technique that can help you kind of open up. So we tend to turn from our thoracic spine, the lumbar stays very stable. Okay, so we want to open this up. So what you're going to do is you're just going to, again, sit on the edge of the chair, knees and feet together. You can do this on your golf cart. It can help you kind of get warmed up right before. Is you're going to turn to the right. You're going to breathe in, and then you're going to exhale. All right, turn as much as you can, exhale, and you're going to squeeze to the right. And then you're going to turn a little more, and you repeat it. So breathe in, exhale, squeeze, and then you can keep on going. All right, so you can do that both sides, and that's a really easy way for you to warm up your body before your round, or if you feel like I'm getting a little stiff in the middle of our round, that breathing techniques does weird things to the diaphragm, weird things to the ribs to help open it up. Okay, so that's a breathing technique that you can help to get that bigger shoulder turn that you're in search of. Now we're going to go through this thing called, they're called Rotex. If you've ever watched any Mach 3 speed training stuff, they use these a lot. Basically, it's a flexibility tool that's super simple, doesn't take a lot of time, because I know a lot of us don't like to stretch out there. But this is something that you can do in your garage. You can take it to the golf course with you. I'll show you what these are and a few ways that you can use it to help you get a little bit more turn. The Rotex makes a handheld device, and then there's some for our feet. So I'm just going to basically go over one with the hand and one with the feet. But there's a lot of different exercises that you can do with these. They're all posted on the website. All right, and the owner of it's a great guy. He's sent me personal videos on some of the issues that I've been having as far as since I have a left shoulder impingement and what we're trying to do to fix that. And it definitely helps out. But I'm just going to show you one of these. Just basically what it does is open up, it's breathing again. All right, so you're going to put it against the walls right in front of your sternum, and then you're just going to turn to the left. And you'll just hold it for 5 seconds. Right, if you want to, you can turn it a little bit more and make it a little bit more, and you do this both sides. So basically, I usually do 5 on the right, 5 on the left, and I hold for 5 seconds in between. Sometimes I turn it and make it like a bigger turn or a bigger thing that you can do. You can also do it for different shoulder stuff to loosen up your shoulders. All right, but this is just a really simple thing that you can do at home this off season or even during the season. I think I've even seen some other TPI guys have these on videos, but it's just a super simple way. You don't have to go to the gym, spend hours stretching. You can just use these to help out. And I'm going to show you what you can do for your feet or your hips to make them a little bit more flexible. So again, we can get that greater shoulder turn. All right, so when I do this one, I feel a big change in my hips. I can really feel that I'm turning more. So what you're going to do is you just put it on an angle like that. Okay, so it kind of wedges it against it. All right, there's 2 of these that you can buy. There's different packages that you can buy. I don't have any idea what the prices are because I don't remember. But what you're going to do is you're going to turn, and you'll see how my foot turns with it. So then I'm going to restrict it and try to get it back to 0. All right, I'm staying in my tilt while I do this. I'm going to hold it for a few seconds, let's say 5. Okay, then I'm going to try to turn more, and then I'm going to turn it back, hold it for 5, and then finally I'll let it turn a little bit more, and then I'll turn it back and I'll hold it for 5. All right, so this is really attacking the inside of my hip. It's going to help me turn a little bit more. All right, and then you can just kind of test it when you get off of it and be like, wow, yeah, it really loosens it up. Most of us aren't tight in our right hip, just so you know. Most of us are tight in our left hip. That's just kind of how it goes, but if we get both hips loose, automatically your swing is going to become more smooth. And if your hips are loose, it relieves a lot of stress on your back, because a lot of times instead of our hips being loose, we try to create motion from our lumbar spine, which isn't created to do that. And that's why so many golfers have back pain, is because their hips are tight. All right, so then you can just kind of test it. You can test it on the chair again and see if it's become larger, greater, all that kind of stuff. Well, thanks for watching today. I hope these little tips help you get that bigger shoulder turn. If you find that you do and you're actually getting a bigger shoulder turn, man, leave those comments below. Let us know what worked the best for you, so we can help other people who are trying to get that bigger shoulder turn, more power, more fluid swing. We can spread it across the community here. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button, and give us a thumbs up if you appreciate this content today.